We, the people, want to know why the Brandon Johnsons, J.B. Pritzkers, and Gavin Newsoms of this country think it's okay to just constantly sit here and fight and argue and blame the president when all he's trying to do is clean up the cities and states that need the help the most. See, you've defunded the police to the point that the criminals are running wild. Everything is running rampant in your city other than peace and order. You've got cops that can't do jobs because you've tied their hands behind their backs and told them to go out and patrol. But in the meantime, if they do actually catch somebody, your liberal judges take these criminals, lock them up for 20 minutes, put them back out on the street on a cashless bond, and say, don't do it again. Because if you do it again, nothing's going to happen anyway, so what's the point? So why would a cop want to go out there and put their life on the line to serve a community that hates them, disrespects them, talks trash to them, gets in their face and wants to scream and holler and try and shove them around, call them fascists and Nazis and pigs and homophobes and racists? The only thing that language ever does is it allows people to think that, hey, if I go out there and I hit one of these fascists, if I beat up a fascist, if I beat up a Nazi, it's okay. Because beating up Nazis is a good thing. So all you're doing is inciting violence and allowing it to be okay to go out and beat up the Nazis. And in the meantime, every time you call somebody a Nazi, you diminish the fact of what Hitler actually did. What Hitler did was atrocious. Hitler was working on genocide. Genocide of not only just the Jewish people, but of other people that were not blonde haired, blue eyed, and fit his Aryan race. Trump and his followers are Hitlers because what? We want safer streets. We want to be able to walk down a city street and know that it's not going to be our last time we walk down that street. We want illegals out of the country because what? What good are illegal immigrants doing to this country? They're not helping. A lot of people are getting hurt because of it. And everybody that is waiting in line to enter this country legally is waiting longer because now there's a backlog of illegals trying to push their way through to become citizens. If you want to become a citizen of this country, do it the correct way. You get in line, you put your name on a list, you wait to be called. You wait till it's your turn, and then you proceed properly. You don't jump a fence. You don't cross a border you're not supposed to. You don't hide out in a city that's going to give you free health care, free food, free benefits, and you can't say they're not because look at the toll the illegal immigrants have taken on the state of New York. Veterans were kicked out of hotels and are now living back on the streets. So illegals can be put up in those hotels, given food, food stamps, free medical health care. They were even giving out voucher cards, prepaid debit cards with $10,000 on it at one point in time to try to help out the situation. But yet, our homeless veterans got nothing, got turned away. Homeless people on the streets, men, women, and children, got nothing. But yet there's no problem with the illegals. It's not putting an extra burden on this country. It's not putting extra burdens on the taxpayers. This is why Donald Trump was elected. This is why it was a landslide victory for him. Getting the Electoral College, the popular vote in every swing state in this country. Because there needed to be a change. A reckoning was coming, and it was time, and it was due. We, the people, have sat by long enough and watched our country go downhill because of democratic rule, democratic law, and democratic dumbasses making up ideas and telling us we have to follow it or we're wrong for it. We're not wrong for it. We want to live in safe cities. We want to know that our kids are going to be safe when they go outside to play. We want to know that when we get on the train at the end of the day, we're going to be safe on the commute back home. Not because some liberal judge has allowed another career criminal back out on the street, and now all of a sudden we have to worry about and wonder, is this the last time I'm going to take the ride home? There is too much going on in this country right now. Both sides need to be able to come to the table to sit down and have an actual productive conversation about what is going on and how we are going to stop it. Which means everybody needs to act like a grown-up. Doesn't matter if you like Gavin Newsom. It doesn't matter if you like Donald Trump. Put it to the side. You are a representative of the public to do the job for the people that you were elected to do. That means shut your mouth, put your ego to the side, and work together to clean up the country the way it needs to be done. Stop pandering to the minority because you think it's going to get you reelected to continue lining your pockets. Term limits need to be applied to every position in government, from the president down. No longer should politicians be able to make a career, millions of dollars off the backs of the people while forgetting who they serve. All politicians are elected by the people, for the people, and of the people. And the only thing they are there to do is serve the people. Not make millions upon millions of dollars through insider trading deals, stock market deals, and every other backwater ideology that they can think of. Hakeem Jacobs has been paying $200 for property tax on a multi-million-dollar mansion or condo in New York City because he's exploiting a loophole in the tax laws. Why is that okay? Why are our politicians not held to the standards that they hold us to? They tell us we need to act a certain way, we need to think a certain way, we need to behave a certain way, but they don't follow those same things. Bernie Sanders is a socialist, wants health care and free everything for everybody, but of his mansions he's got, you're not free to use them. A true socialist would give everything he has to make sure everybody has an equal amount. But that's not what's going on here. You can't walk up to Uncle Bernie and say, hey, let me use your mansion for the weekend. It's not going to happen. He's never going to allow it to happen. How did he become this rich, serving as a politician for so many years? It's not supposed to happen. You were not supposed to become a multi-millionaire while being a public servant. Because your local police department, that's not happening. Fire department, that's not happening. The trash man that works for the city, that's not happening. But yet I have more respect for these guys than I do any sitting politician, because a politician does nothing but run their mouth. And I don't care what side you're talking about, the left, the right, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. You're just running your mouth, serving yourself, lining your pockets. It's time we, the people, started shaking up the political system in this country. Start reminding that these career politicians that their time is up and they will be replaced by younger people with better ideologies, better respect for the people, better ways of trying to help out the communities that they are elected to serve. No longer will you sit in Congress for 20 plus years. Heck, I don't want anybody sitting in Congress for 10 plus years, because after so long, you get lazy, you get relaxed, you get comfortable, and you start sliding things a little to one side or the other just to be able to help yourself. We're no longer going to allow politicians who just want to serve themselves, because you're not there to serve yourself. You were elected to serve us. And that means politicians need to start listening to the constituents. Yes, not every part of Chicago is what's known as Chirac. But there is a large part of Chicago that is known as Chirac. And Brandon Johnson needs to start realizing that that's the part that needs the help the most. But yet that's the part that's defunded the most. That's the part where the criminals are emboldened the most to do what they want to do because they know there is no consequences and repercussions. And that is why Donald Trump is sending in the National Guard, because it is time for criminals to realize that their actions have consequences, and no longer will they sit on their butts and do nothing about it. So if the local can't do it because the government won't allow them to do it, then the federal will step in and take care of it for them. And as I said, this is not the first time the National Guard has been mobilized by a sitting president to take care of something in a city that the local could not take care of. We, the people, wanted to return to when this country was calm and safer. When you could leave your front doors open and you didn't have to worry. We don't want cities known as Chiraq because the people in the city consider it to be a war zone. We, the people, want to have discussions on how to accomplish these things. We, the people, are Charlie Kirk. If you feel the way I do, if you like what I have to say, please like, comment, share, subscribe this. Send it to somebody you think needs to hear this message or you would enjoy this message. If you'd like to reach me, you can always leave a comment or email the page directly. Link is in the descriptions. Thank you guys. Be safe. Love you. Bye.